Okay, hey guys, J-Man here with Steve and Sean. We are back from a minute ago if you've watched the other video. So Disney dropped a whole bunch of announcements. We did all the Marvel ones already. Now we're doing the Star Wars ones. I want to give a quick shout out to one of my subscribers. His name is DW, and he's a good buddy of ours from a long time back. We had lost touch. We thought he joined the Navy and fought in wars and stuff, but he reached out to me and he's like, no, I'm still alive. We're like, oh my God. So DW, man, thanks a lot for subscribing, and we always value your opinion. And if you ever want to join us on one of these rants, then let me know and we'll hook you up. All right, Star Wars.
What's that?
Okay. So we got Mandalorian, which is complete and utter garbage. So we know that's garbage. So there's going to be Rangers of the New Republic. There's going to be an Ahsoka Tano TV series, Bad Batch, which is going to be animated. Rogue One, what's that one called? The Acolyte, which I don't know what that's going to be about. Hayden Christensen is back in the Obi-Wan Kenobi show. We will talk about that. What else is coming out? Rogue Squadron. There's the Cassian Andor TV series. Taika Waititi is going to be doing some movie. I mean, they're just throwing his name in there. That's like not even a thing.
There's no.
Did I? Was that everything? Did I get everything?
The new droid show. You cut out, so I don't know what. Yeah. That crappy Visions thing.
Which one?
Sorry, I'm out of the bag here. The Visions, Star Wars Visions.
Visions.
Did you get that?
Lando. Yeah. Lando, baby, that's my boy from day one. Lando, yeah, that's my boy.
Is that a series or it's a series, right?
It just says event series, so I don't know what that means.
So like a couple episodes or 4 episodes,
Yeah. Rogue Squadron, and then Taika Waititi is just doing some. It's like Taika Waititi. It's like okay. I'm looking forward to Lando. That was like. I'm looking forward to Lando only because I love Lando, always did. Mm-hmm. I do like. I was gonna say it's Glover. What's his first name? The guy who played
Donald Glover. Donald Glover.
I keep wanting to say Danny Glover.
Yeah.
So Donald Glover. I liked him. I liked him.
I did too.
It is what it is. I want to say this. Radical idea. I came up with this term radical idea because I was just thinking of crap. Radical idea. Billy D goes through time and teams up with his younger self to go on adventures, and they call it Landos. Can you imagine? I want everyone to know that this is happening. It's gonna happen. It has to. It's too good. The two Landos team up, and you call the show Landos, and it's them, and they're trying to decide what cape to wear and stuff. Oh my God. This would be mind-blowingly amazing if they did the Landos. The Lando or Calrissians or something. I don't know. Okay, droids.
No, Landos is good.
Yeah. I mean droids. I love droids. I'm a droid nerd. So if they can do something cool with the droids, that'd be pretty sick too. I know there just seems so many that were announced here. I can't really see them.
That show sounds like it's. That show sounds like it's gonna suck. It's gonna be They said there's a new droid and the two droids that we know and love will like guide that. So it's gonna be all about this new thing, right? I don't know. We'll see how it goes. I love droids too, but not a lot of people care about that show.
Well, what do you think? Okay, what do you think about Hayden Christensen? Let's get to the heart of the matter.
I don't understand what they're talking about. So, Obi-Wan Kenobi, the show, and then there's Kathleen Kennedy's like, okay, so Hayden Christensen is back as Darth Vader. What do you mean? He's gonna be in the costume with that crap voice? What are you talking about? Yeah. What is that? And then she's like, oh, it's going to be a rematch of the century. We saw it in Star Wars. So they fight before that? What are you talking about? It's like she doesn't even know her own I know that's the common criticism. She doesn't even know her own Star Wars franchise.
Yeah.
I was confused as well.
Yeah.
I was under the impression that this Obi-Wan show was taking place after episode 3, and he's like just going on little mini adventures
Yeah.
while trying to be in hiding or something.
Yeah.
And then they said Hayden Christensen's back, but I'm like, but literally he is now full Vader, right?
Yeah.
And I mean, it's just going to be whoever the guy was in Rogue One who's in that costume, and it's going to be James Earl Jones's voice. So I don't know what is Hayden Christensen going to be doing unless I just thought of this literally just now, unless it's going to be like Jason Goes to Hell, coincidentally, which is in my background, where he sees himself as Hayden Christensen, but then everyone else sees him as Darth Vader. I don't know if they're going to pull something weird like that. Like he'll look in the mirror and see himself as Hayden Christensen, but then everyone else sees the real Darth Vader. I don't know. Even if they do that, how much opportunity is there going to be for him to be like Anakin?
Yeah. It doesn't make any sense, because even if I thought like maybe they're doing flashbacks, but Hayden, when did Revenge of the Sith come out? 2005, 2006, 2007?
Sure.
Somewhere in there, right?
2005, yeah.
15 years ago. So it ain't flashbacks, because, hey, Anakin, you look way older now. What the hell happened to you?
Yeah.
Like, I literally am confused as well, because, like, I don't know. Unless it's what Jay said. But even then, he's going to be seeing a much older Hayden Christensen when he looks in the mirror. Like, is he going to be made up? Like, he looked all burned and stuff before he got put into the Vader armor? Like, I don't understand.
If Kenobi and Darth Vader fight, it has to be off-world. Otherwise, Vader will know, oh, Tatooine, that's where, It's like, wouldn't he force sense Luke? He doesn't know that his kids survived. But he'd at least it doesn't make any. Anyway, we'll see what they do. I think it's going to be a lot of like ill-conceived BS that happens before Star Wars that doesn't make any sense. Kind of like Rogue One, where like they showed those mosquito guys making, like they designed the Death Star, and then they're like, no, this other guy did it. They're not paying attention to their own continuity. So I'm worried about that for that Obi-Wan show.
Yeah, I think it's better to like Mandalorian is the best way to do it, because it's like it's after Jedi, so you don't have to worry about what happened before.
Yeah.
As long as you're not horrifically going against the lore. They've erased everything from expanded universe. None of the books. I don't think the cartoons, droids and Ewoks, has that been erased, Sean?
Yeah.
That's erased.
There's a race
right?
before that, though. Yeah.
Are the Ewok movies erased? I guess they don't really factor in, really, anyway. Regardless whether they're erased or not. So you can go back and you can say, well, yeah, Boba Fett is like this or whatever, and it's like that stuff's gone. And Thrawn has been introduced. So it's better to do it this way. If you're going to just erase the EU anyways, and you're only saying the movies and those couple of animated series, Clone Wars, Rebels, whatever, Resistance, if that's the real Star Wars, then that's fine. But if you start inserting things and you're messing it up, it's like, well, guys, how are you messing this up? You told us this is now canon and this is not, and now you're messing this up. It's like, that's a fail. So the Obi-Wan thing, I don't know. I like Ewan McGregor and Hayden Christensen's fine or whatever. I don't know. I'm nervous about this one because anytime you're inserting stuff now, there's definitely going to be errors. 100%. And I've read maybe 5 Star Wars novels. Like, I don't know the EU at all. And I never read the Thrawn trilogy either, though this guy is redoing the entire trilogy in animated form, eh? I don't know if you guys watch Echo Base Network, but I'm always on Echo Base Network on their pop-ins. And some guy literally is redoing the whole damn thing himself and animating it. This guy's crazy. I'm going to watch that whole thing and just catch up that way. So I don't know about this Obi-Wan series.
No, I wouldn't say zero interest, but I have very low because it's the Solo thing. why do we need this? Like, is this really going to be interesting? Right? Like, it's like, okay, well, like, he's still living in a cave in Star Wars. So unless they screw up the continuity, he's living in a cave for like, how many years until waiting for Luke to, grow up so he can like, take him under his wing, basically. So
yeah, so the Disney comics that were made that are in continuity with the new continuity, yeah, he's still in that little hut or whatever, and every so often he'll beat up bandits that wanna take over the homestead where Luke is or something like that. He's just there, he's just around, right? So they have that in continuity. I don't know what the hell this show's gonna do.
Yeah, I mean, Obi-Wan, if they had done this, and Sean, we talked about this, if they had done this in the episode 2 area, him being a young Jedi going around. So I'm guessing the Obi-Wan series is going to be before episode 3. Because
No,
well, how are they going to do it then?
it's-
I can't see I can't
she
see
said
any
it's
other
10
way.
years after. Yeah, she says
that's
10
the
years
problem.
after episode 3. So
Yeah, I can't wrap my head around that then. I like, unless he's gonna sit. Oh, you know what? I got it. Oh, I got it. Radical idea number 2, baby. This is happening. Okay. Series starts off. He's laying asleep in the cave and he dreams all the adventures. Or
nightmares.
oh no. I got it. He has a droid with him and he's chronicling his lives.
Yeah.
That's
So every episode starts with him saying, "Oh, did I tell you the time me and Anakin went and beat up this creature?"
But then he's old in those
Yeah.
flashbacks.
No, they'll young him
Like-
up.
Well, what are they going to throw like $400 million at this thing? Like,
I don't know. It doesn't cost $400 million to make him look. Sean, are you questioning the youth and vitality of one Ewan McGregor? The man looks as though he's 25.
He looks like Train Spotting Ewan McGregor.
That is exactly him. He has not aged. I don't
take
know.
like footage from Train Spotting and put aliens around him and stuff in that bar or whatever, and be like, hey.
I don't know. I'm spitballing here, man.
For the record, Jason has just spent all of Disney's money in like one show.
Yeah. Just make him young.
Just make him look young. I don't know.
Oh.
Okay, well, what about Andor? What about Cassian Andor, who dies, who we know for sure is going to die? So
He'll get older and older as that show goes on. Yeah.
I don't know. Like, that's a weird. I mean, I actually kind of like Cassian Andor, to be honest, and K2SO is pretty cool. I liked him in Rogue One. I like Rogue One a lot.
Yeah.
I liked him in Rogue One.
It seemed like a weird. Yeah.
Yeah, it's weird. It's weird to choose him.
Yeah.
It seemed like a weird knee-jerk announcement they made after Rogue One, and they somehow have been shamed into sticking to it. It's like no one's screaming for a Cassian Andor show, you know?
Yeah, I mean,
I agree.
We're not gonna feel
the beauty of Rogue
cheated if
One
we
was
don't
that they all
make this.
died.
Yeah. Yeah, that was the whole point.
Yeah.
So, like, yeah, this is where you run into even like that problem with the Black Widow movie, is like she's going to die. So
Yeah.
I know she's not going to die in this movie. And the same with Cassian Andor. Whatever you see happen on that show, he's never going to die.
Yeah. Right.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, there's not really going to be any suspense of any kind in that sense.
No.
Like, we know he's going to make it, right? So I don't know. It's weird. What were the other ones what were the other ones on here?
Ashoka should be okay.
Yeah.
The Acolyte, we don't know anything about that. That's that they talk about. They say it's a mystery thriller or something like that in the High Republic. that's the female centric one, but like they didn't say that. The Bad Batch, they showed footage that looks awesome. That Star Wars Visions thing, I hate when they do this, where they're like, oh, the anime version, and with different visionaries that reinterpret stuff. That Batman thing, the Gotham Knights thing, is the worst Batman movie.
Yeah.
I'm
Yeah.
calling it now. It's
Big time.
I hate it. It's boring.
Yeah.
Oh, he's a vampire. Who cares? Like this, he's not a vampire though. I don't care about interpretations of Star Wars. Like, oh, they're samurai now, but they're not. What am I watching?
Yeah.
That anime Wolverine thing was awful too. Anytime they do a reinterpretation, I just want to see the anime version of Star Wars.
Yeah.
Fanboys do it all the time. Fanboys and girls always animate things in the anime style that looks awesome. Do that, not this reinterpretation crap. That thing's gonna suck, man.
Yeah.
I don't like it. I know a lot of people will be like, it's interesting. Like you'll see these YouTube videos when it comes to, yes, another perspective. Yes. And then no one will remember it after that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't like them either. I don't
No,
get,
never.
I know it's like, oh, what if, it's like, oh, Batman is like a vampire, as you said, or a samurai, but he's not. So what is this? Like,
Yeah.
it's just
What
so,
am I watching?
yeah, like
Yeah.
my whole thing is like, you're spending time, money, energy into producing this. Well, just produce another Batman movie or whatever, right? Like there's tons of Batman stories they haven't done. It's like, why? It's same with Star Wars. So don't do this visionary visions or whatever thing and split that money up amongst the other projects you are doing. Like what is this? I don't understand the purpose of this. Like, am I supposed to watch that and be like, oh, now I'm excited to go see the real version of the character? Like, that's what I don't. I know. Yeah, the Batman one's a great example. It's like we watch that. It's like, well, now that I've watched that, what am I supposed to do? Am I supposed to go buy comics? Well, that's not the comics, so I don't get it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know it's such a weird thing, and people do like it, and they do say, "Oh, it's interesting" and all that. But it really is not interesting to me. I don't care. I'm like, oh, what? Let's do a Friday the 13th where Jason is a saint and not a killer. I don't care.
Yeah, nobody
Yeah.
remembers that Gotham Knights thing. So there you go. There's your answer.
Yeah.
It's like no one cares about that thing.
I am really looking forward to the
go ahead.
Ahsoka Tano show though. Like Rosario Dawson, seeing her in the makeup, that was a character who, when I first saw her in the Star Wars Clone Wars, the Clone Wars movie, I was like, yeah, she's cool. And then she was in the show, and I'm like, oh, that's cool. But she really started to grow on me too. She became one of my favorite characters by the end. And I was really interested. I was really happy to hear her. And then seeing Rosario Dawson bring her to life. I mean, I rarely do this, but my eyes were glued to that character whenever she was on screen. I couldn't stop watching her. And they really realized her in such an awesome way. Like I was like noticing like the folds of her, like her headdress or whatever and all that, like all that stuff, man. Like I think that's the one I'm definitely looking forward to of any of them, because I really like what they did with her in the show and the episode I watched. And like I think Rosario Dawson is a good actress anyway, and she's going to really do a great job with that because she loves this sort of thing. So
yeah, so I never watched Clone Wars. I have it all on Blu-ray. Except I guess the final season didn't come out on Blu-ray or something, right? Like this.
no, it says only on Disney Plus.
Arg. So anyway, but I never really watched it, so I don't know her at all. I saw the Clone Wars movie, the animated movie, and she was like, yeah, she was there. I was like, okay. So it's weird because I'm like more of a live action Star Wars fan than a EU. Like I read some of the books, I have some of the comics, but nothing like too crazy, because you guys know me, I love so many things. Like I can't read every X-Men book and every Spider-Man and every Superman, although I'm reading a lot of Superman. I can't do everything, right? There's so many things. I love all the kaiju stuff, so it's hard to watch everything that there is, right? So I liked Ahsoka in Mandalorian. She looked wicked, and so I'm definitely excited to see what they do, but I'm not like drooling at the prospect of this show. Like I know some people are. Like to me, I'd rather just continue with Mandalorian. Like if nothing else happened and Mandalorian just continued, I'd be okay with that. Because like him teaming up with Boba Fett in the last episode was pretty sick.
So it
Yeah.
looks like they're gonna like link up Ashoka, Mandalorian, and this Rangers of the New Republic thing. And
Right.
I'm assuming the Rangers thing is those X-wing fighter guys
Yeah.
that like try to keep the peace, right? So and then they're gonna have some sort of intersection of like this big event with like a crossover and stuff like that. Um so that's pretty much gonna be mainly like the main face of Star Wars, I think, is these three shows. Right now it's Mandalorian, but
Yeah.
yeah.
Well, I mean, any show that has the creative team of Jon Favreau and Dave Filoni, until they make garbage, I'm with them 100% because they've knocked it out of the park with Mandalorian. And if they want to make a couple more shows, like, again, don't do the Marvel thing and do 50 shows because I'm like, where's the quality now? You're giving me quantity, but I'm sort of doubting the quality.
Yeah.
But if they do those three and they do it as good as Mandalorian seasons 1 and 2 have been, I will be super happy. And it won't even matter about the other shows. I can just ignore them. Right. But like those two guys have earned my trust to do a couple more, and then we'll see where it goes from there.
Yeah, if you're doing good, then continue on. Like
Yeah.
I'm not gonna start doubting until you start making me doubt. Like even JJ, everybody knows this. All three of us said this. We don't like JJ's. It's all if you talk about Star Wars, JJ's coming in the picture. It's just how it is. JJ, KK, RJ. There's the trilogy of terror right there. Though, and I'm throwing KK and JJ are the two head leaders of they're the king and queen, and then RJ is the jester.
Yeah.
Those two are the king and queen of this garbage fest. And they remade episode 4 and pretended it wasn't a remake, and then they killed Han Solo. They killed Han Solo in the dumbest possible way I've ever seen anyone die in the history of cinema. So it's like, and now it's like, well, everyone's like, yeah, we're cool with that. It's like, no, we're not. As soon as JJ was announced, we all were like, oh my God, a moment of silence for this ruined Star Wars movie, because we know what he does. He is the plague. Like, he's the tall man of cinema. He goes town to town and pillages the graveyards and kills everybody, turns them into those little dwarves, and then moves on. And if you don't join up with them, he takes your brain out and makes you a sphere or whatever. He is the tall man of. He just goes and he just moves on. And then you could see where he leaves off. He went to Star Trek, killed everything there, and then moved on. And it's like, okay, now we got to take a step back from that. But I still have not given up on Star Wars. Mandalorian came out. I'm like, okay, it's awesome, and we're back. We keep talking about on Echo Base Network. I don't know if you guys ever catch any of those. They're like, is Star Wars back? Are we 100% in? We're pretty damn close. If we're not 100, we're pretty damn close. Mandalorian, I thought episode 1 to like chapter 1 to chapter 16 or whatever we're on from today, I thought it was all awesome. I know people are saying it's getting really better now because of Bo-Katan and Boba Fett coming back and Ahsoka. I always thought it was good. If those characters never came back, I'd still be okay. And I'm not over Grogu. I think he's friggin' wicked. Like I want like a pet, Grogu walking around and doing the Force when I need him to do shit. That's cool. And he stole those wafers. He stole those truffles or whatever they were from that woman. She didn't give him any. He wanted some. That was bullshit. It's like, give him a couple of pieces. That was cool. I like all this. Like, so I'm totally good. If Filoni and Fav can keep it up, keep it up.
Yeah. Yeah. There's like, you go with the precedent, right? Like, you go with the hand. That's why, like, if you've proven that you're really good, okay, I want to see what more you do. If you've proven you've been garbage, JJ, then I don't want to see anything more you do. I don't want you making stuff I really like, because then I'll be forced to sit through your garbage, like I did with the last 3 Star Wars movies. Right? Yeah. So it's a very simple formula. It's a very simple thought process. Yeah. But like, I'd have to say, like, for the majority, I don't know about Acolyte or anything, so that is going to get a pass just because I can't comment on it. But the Obi-Wan thing, and to the lesser extent the Cassian Andor thing, I don't really see the appeal, and I don't see what more it can give us. It both might shock me, and I'll watch it. Like, that's the thing. I'll give anything a chance. but I'm not going in with super high enthusiasm like I will be for like the Ahsoka Tano thing, which I'm just like, I am one of those people who are just like, I don't know, man. I think that's an awesome idea. So
So they only announced 2 movies, and one was just up in the air and had no story, story or title, and that was that Taika Waititi one.
Yeah.
The other one, Patty Jenkins had already said she wanted to make a Rogue, not a Rogue One, a Rogue Squadron movie. I love Rogue Squadron. I read most of the comics because I had most of the omnibuses from Dark Horse.
Dark Horse.
And I think what they're gonna do here is like what they do with Marvel. They took a name, they're gonna make a movie around it. It's not really gonna be Rogue Squadron. To me, Rogue Squadron is Wedge Antilles and his crew.
He's not in there.
Yeah, so they might not do that. But I hope that she does something cool with it, like they're a squadron that has a secret mission or something like that, and it's like a sort of like a thriller, or something like that. But we don't know anything about that. It's intriguing. I think they should do more of that though. Like Rogue Squadron is something that was known. It's like, people know what that is, right? So do more, like, bring back elements of the EU that you erased.
That you erased.
That people know, They erased the whole thing. It's like Marvel makes a lot of money just on hipsters pretending to know stuff from the comics, and it's like, oh yeah, I know, it's Secret Invasion, like, do you know that? And like there's all sorts of buzz on the internet and stuff, and Star Wars has that rich history too, but they keep shooting themselves in the foot. It's like, make movies about like based on their games and stuff like that. Like those games make millions of dollars. Millions of fans know the stories of these games, like Jedi Order, or like Fallen Order, and all that stuff. It's like, bring characters from those into it. I don't know what their problem is, man. Like Knights of the Old Republic.
Yeah.
We're giant franchises on their own, and with characters everyone knows. Darth Revan, if you know Star Wars. Erased. Bring those elements back and like put those in movies. That's where you get your built-in audience from. Right?
Yeah, they're gonna start having to mine for that, because they obviously can't come up with anything brand new.
No, I know.
So let's not start, there's Filoni and Fab, and then that's it. Let's not start, getting the banners out. Yeah, Star Wars, like, it's back in the sense of what we're seeing on a weekly basis is good. So Star Wars is back to pleasing fans as best as it can. You can't please everybody. There's going to be someone out there who's going to be like, I don't like the fact that this happened, But I mean, it's pretty much at least back in that sense. So yeah, you can't please everybody, but yeah, start mining some of this stuff. I'm open to anything. If it's good, it's good. I'm not a loose Star Wars fan. I'm a loose Star Wars fan, but my version of loose is to say, look, man, if it's cool, it's cool. Like Mandalorian teams up with the Sand People to go fight that big worm. I mean, That's awesome. Does that make perfect sense? I don't know if it does. Is there some novel out there that says Tusken Raiders would never, team up with an outsider or something? I don't know. So for me, as long as what's happening is cool, that's good enough, right? I don't want something that's stupid, like raise the granddaughter or whatever. It's like they try to throw that in, but it's to try to fix whatever problems. But like, I don't like that. Like, it's just weird. It's like, you turn Luke into a loser. Why? Like, it's like, I don't know. I just don't like the way that they did that. Now, Boba Fett in the last episode, he's teaming up with Mando. For now, I didn't watch this week's, so that's cool. Like, would Boba Fett really team up with I don't know, but that's good enough for me. It's 2 Mandalorians, teaming up to fight guys. That's awesome.
Yeah, I agree. Like, Mandalorian has hit it out of the park, right? It feels. I don't know if people sit there and say, well, is it like the original trilogy? I don't know. I in some ways, no. It's a Western. It's a Western with a bounty hunter and, a baby, a child from Yoda's race. Like, is that the original Star Wars? No, but it's damn entertaining, and it's fun, and I like watching it. the problem to simplify things, like the prequels for the most part, and definitely the last three, I didn't like watching them. Like I didn't have a good time. I was sitting there like, oh God, this is stupid. Oh God, that's stupid. Like boiling it down to its simplest form is it entertaining? Am I going to throw it into the Blu-ray player? And if the answer is no, why is it on my shelf? Get it off. I'm not paying money for this.
Yeah. Well, I'm paying money for it because it's Star Wars, but I'm a nerd that way in terms of the movies and stuff like that. But like, yeah. I mean,
you still buy them. Man.
I'm still buying, yeah. No, but I mean, you're right. It's like, look, it's original trilogy is original trilogy. So forget that. If we start saying, this isn't like the new iPhone, is it better than the first iPhone? Like the original trilogy is not really going to be touched because Sean has discussed this with me personally so many times, like all the time. It's like, look, it's, George Lucas liked serials, Buck Rogers, Flash Gordon, he brought that in, East and West kind of meshing together. The person who made that trilogy, that person and that thought process and what was popular for him is not the case anymore. Someone growing up now is not going to be thinking about Spy Smasher movie serials and stuff. And I forgot the name of the Gunga Din to do Indiana Jones and all. Like that person doesn't exist anymore. So anyone making something new now is going to have to take their life experiences and what they think is cool and put that in. That's automatically going to be a different vision than what George Lucas did. And George Lucas, like we all like that stuff. So we're not going to get that again. So just remove that from your mind.
Yeah.
The Clone Wars TV series, I was thinking about this today, actually. The Clone Wars TV series defined modern Star Wars. It's so influential. Like almost everything is bouncing off of that. And that show introduced all sorts of different genres. Like it's really, really like, right now it really is the beating heart of Star Wars, like that show. And I know they made a season just now, so Jay, you better watch it.
I know
it's basically set the pace for Star Wars since.
Last toy show, Sean, that we went to, the guy had it. I had it on DVD and I bought the whole thing. Now I had them all on DVD though, but then I was like, let me upgrade to Blu-ray. I've got a 65-inch TV with my surround sound that I always had. So like everybody else, I did the Black Friday thing and got my TV. So like, I'm super pumped. I'm going to watch all of that on like a super killer sound system and TV right after I finish Green Lantern, which is the surprise hit of the universe. Green Lantern, the animated series, is like my favorite TV show ever. It's crazy. Anyways, separate thing. But yeah, Clone Wars, I'm going to watch it for sure. We got about 5 minutes to try to, what else do we forget? There's that.
I just want to say, like, when Kathleen Kennedy, for some reason, like, so this thing happened yesterday, and I don't know if they shot this months and months ago, but like for some reason Kathleen Kennedy's like, here's a sneak peek of Mandalorian season 2. It's like, we're 6 episodes in. What are you sneak peeking? And all of the stuff in that trailer we've already seen, and then it ends with Boba Fett coming back. It's like, yeah, we saw that. What's happening here? Like, does she know? Like, Kathleen, you know, we're in season 2 right now, right? Like, anyway.
No, I don't think she knows. That's like when we went to go see, we went to go see like New Mutants in the theater. We saw a trailer for New Mutants, and then I turned to Steve and I'm like, Steve, we should go see that in the theater. Oh wait, we're already here. And it's like, that's just because they had nothing to show, right? There's nothing to show. And I mean, it's like, okay, thanks for the trailer. Like, well, I mean, look, to Lando going back in time, because Lando has not been written yet. If Billy D goes back in time and teams up with the other Lando, I'm suing Disney because that's my idea. If Lando is telling stories in a cantina about his old days and they flash back to Lando, I'm suing because that's my idea also. I'm throwing that out there now.
That's everyone's idea though, but yeah.
It doesn't matter. It only matters if I say it and it's on video. It doesn't matter if you said it somewhere else. This is like Videodrome. It doesn't count unless it's on video. Remember that guy was alive and through videotapes or whatever? Anyway.
Yeah.
Yeah. If this is Videodrome rules here. If it's not on video, then it doesn't matter. So, okay. What anything else in the last 4 minutes?
You know,
Just bring back the Ewoks, man. Anyway,
yeah.
Oh, I love them.
You know, it's one thing that we haven't said is that we're having a lot of riches come down on us to discuss this, right? Like back, how many years was it between Star Wars things where we had nothing to talk about? So I guess it's, in a way, a good way that we have all this content to sort of parse through and talk about now. Our 13-year-old selves would go crazy knowing that this would be what the future would be. There's Star Wars all over the place happening now.
Oh, I mean, I was pumped up for the Nicholas Hammond Spider-Man TV series. I thought this is the best it's ever going to be in my life.
Yeah.
And now we've got 400 Spider-Mans teaming up in live action.
To your point, Steve, when I was a kid, Star Wars was Luke Skywalker. So I don't know how pumped up I'd be about all this.
Yeah. Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, Luke Skywalker is the heart of Star Wars, which is why everyone hates The Last Jedi the most.
Yeah.
The two offenses, look, the prequels are a bit stupid and boring, and the sequels are kind of crap. But the two big offenses are the treatment of Han, the treatment of Luke. Yeah. If those two offenses didn't happen, if Han Solo was just normal Han Solo, he lived with Leia, they raised Ben, Luke was a hero, and then everything else was almost exactly the same, there'd be a lot less problems. Or if they ignored Luke and Han, set this like 50 years after their death or something, and it's just the exact same thing we got without those characters, it'd be a different thing. The prequels are poo as well, but the prequels don't actually take an actual actor that we love and take a big shit on them. Yeah. They don't do that. So people can say, oh, they're boring, they're not that good, but you can digest them and be like, well, that was a fun movie. There's some cool parts, right? Like this is how we talk about the prequels. Oh, there's some neat things. I like that. That's cool, right? It's like the sequels, they shit on two big characters. That's the two offenses. Really. Yeah. Those are the big two. If those things were gone, they still wouldn't be the greatest movies, but nobody would be angry. Yeah. They'd just be like, well, those are okay. It's not my Star Wars, but it's fun, whatever. And as long as any of these shows don't take a big dump on a character or something that's from that time, then we'll, they might be okay. 1 minute. Anything else? Final minute? Good?
We're good.
All right, we'll leave it at that. Disney, don't take a big dump on Luke anymore, and don't take a big dump on Han Solo because you already did. You can probably redeem Luke if he comes on Mandalorian. Yeah, I don't think you can redeem Han Solo. You guys F that guy up the A. All right, guys. Thanks for watching. We'll see you next time.